Yo, what's good? Okay, now, excuse my piss poor appearance. I know I look like shit. I literally just got up a little bit ago, but I really wanted to make this video and talk about this. So that's why I'm here. I'm trying to get used to just turning on the camera every time I have an idea in my head and something that I really want to talk about, you know, because I feel like most people, they like, worry about their image a lot, and I do as well. Looking good, that's always a plus for me. But I had to talk about this. So recently, we got a new poster for the I Know What You Did Last Summer movie that's coming out in July 18th. And I honestly, this video, I just want to talk about my predictions for the movie, who I think will live, who I think will die. So far, we only have a teaser trailer, so I'll talk a little bit about the teaser. And considering that we just recently got a new poster like a few days ago, I think it's Sunday today. I think sometime this week we're gonna get a brand new trailer, because we're coming in close on like the 1 month mark. So like, what's today? Today is the 15th, right? On Wednesday, June 18th, that will officially be the halfway mark for the movie. So June 18th, the movie will be 1 month away. So I definitely think next week, if not Wednesday, then Friday, so the 20th, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a new trailer. And if we do get a new trailer, I'll make a second video, breaking down that trailer, and maybe I'll have a new perspective. I feel like the marketing for this movie hasn't really been all that good. So far we've only had like two posters, the teaser poster, which was cool, and then the poster that we just recently got with all the characters and the background and the floating heads. And then we just have the teaser. And we recently, along with the poster, we've also got there was a TikTok that was released where they revealed all the characters' names. So I just want to go through that. I guess I could talk about the trailer a little bit, or the teaser trailer. So the teaser trailer is just Danica's boyfriend at the time, I guess. He gets murdered. And based on the teaser, this movie looks to be much more violent, much more brutal than the original, because the original wasn't that violent at all. There was very minimal kills. There was about like 6 kills. One of them was off screen. And then the other 5 were pretty basic kills. So I'm pretty sure one thing that this movie is gonna get right is the body count and the gore. But yeah, it was just the teaser was very short. Nothing really happens. What I will say is, in terms of like the cast, they seem to only be promoting like the main 5 that caused the accident. And then obviously, Julie James and Ray Bronson, who's coming back for this one. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are reprising their roles. But we seem to be focusing on the main 5. And there's 4 other characters that's going to be in this movie that we don't know anything about as of right now. We don't know, the characters' names. We don't know what their roles are going to be in the movie. So I'm just going to go off my own predictions of what I think will happen. But so yeah, let's talk about it. First off, we got obviously the teaser. Hopefully this could lock in. We got the teaser poster, very simple, and then we got the floating heads poster. This was the new poster that recently got released. As you can see, all the main 5 and then the 2 previous protagonists. Now, based on what I'm getting from this is, first of all, this is giving Scream 5. Like, everything about this movie is giving Scream 5, and that's not a bad thing, because I love Scream 5. It's my second favorite Scream movie. I think going the route of Scream 5, I don't think it's going to be as good as Scream 5, but I heard that this movie was like a little more, funny, a little more goofy than people are expecting. So I think this movie has a lot of potential, man. I think it could be really it could be my number one. It's gonna be hard to beat out Final Destination Bloodlines, but it has potential to be my number one of the year. But yeah, this is definitely giving Scream 5. You know, the legacy characters are back. You know, just like with Scream 5. You know, Sydney, Dewey, Gale all returning. We have new main characters. You know, with Chase Wonders and Madeline Klein. You know, being the two new leads. And obviously the killer's back. You know, the motive is somewhat similar. You know, so let me just talk about all the individual characters and who I think will live and who I think will die based on what we have right now and my own like theories. So let's start off with Jennifer Love Hewitt, who is reprising her role as Julie James, you know, the OG final girl from the first I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I think she's gonna live. I think she's gonna survive. I don't think it would be right to kill her off. I think she should live. Like it's the same with Sydney. Like you shouldn't kill them off. You know, it wouldn't make any sense. Now, from what I've heard, she has a much bigger role. So I'm expecting her to have a bigger role than Sydney did in 5, which I'm actually looking forward to. You know, considering that this is her third time around. You know, I feel like and it's been such a long time since I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I think that came out in like 1998. So it's been a while. So I'm not opposed to her having more screen time this go around. And then we have Freddie Prinze Jr., who's reprising his role as Ray Bronson, you know, Julie's boyfriend. Now, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. Ray, I think he's gonna get the Dewey treatment. Like, he literally, the way he's dressed, the way he looks in the movie, it's giving Dewey. Like, everything about him is giving Dewey. And based on that, I think he's gonna die. I think they're gonna kill off our boy Ray. And I think it's necessary for him to die. Just like it was like, it hurt. But it was low-key necessary for Dewey to die because, you know, you needed to raise the stakes and make it feel real, as Amber Freeman said. This isn't some cash-in, run-of-the-mill sequel, because our movie has fucking stakes, you know? So I think he's going to get the Dewey treatment. I think he's going to die protecting one of the new people, and it's going to be sad and emotional. And I'm just going to mentally prepare myself for Ray to die, to be honest. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that this dude is a goner, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough, you know, seeing him go out. But in terms of progressing the story, I think it's necessary. So, yeah, I think Ray's going to die and Julie's going to live. And in terms of, like, Brandy, you know, Brandy from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, I think her character was Carla. I think Brandy is going to make a little cameo, or is going to be mentioned in the movie, that, you know, Carla's, you know, alive and well, and that's that. So that's what I think about her character. One thing that I just want to say before I forget it, I really hope this movie doesn't end with one of those stupid, like, dream fake outs, because the first 2 movies ended like that, where, you know, the killer pops up and, you know, attacks Julie, but it was all a dream. Obviously, you know, with this movie, with these 2 returning, it was obviously the ending of I Still Know was a dream sequence again, or a nightmare. I just hope this movie doesn't end like that again, because it doesn't need to. Just end the movie normally, please. I mean, I get that it's a staple in the franchise to, you know, end it like that, but you don't have to. So just don't do it. And what else? I'm honestly expecting the motive to be almost identical to the first movie, just like Scream 5 was. With Scream 5 did do a little bit, quite a few different things with the toxic fandom and shit, but I don't think the motives is gonna be, you know, as groundbreaking as people might expect it to be. So there's that. Now let's get into the new people, the new characters. We have our new main character, Ava Brooks, played by Chase Sue Wonders. She was in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies from 2022. And I think Ava's gonna live, first of all. And I think Chase is gonna be good. I this might be a Melissa Barrera situation where at first people might not like her, uh, but I think over time people are gonna come to grow and appreciate her character. That this is just me going off of like my thoughts of like history repeating itself, but I think I'm gonna like her character of Ava. I think Ava seems like, based on the trailer, I don't really have a big opinion on her right now. I feel like based on the trailer, people wouldn't even know that she's the main character. I think people would go into this movie thinking that Madeline Klein is the main character, but that's just based on how the trailer's shot. You know, they give much more of a focus towards Madeline Klein's character, but Madeline Klein, she's definitely gonna be playing the Helen Shivers. She's definitely gonna be the Helen Shivers of the movie. So let's just talk about her character. She's playing Danica Richards, and I'm pretty sure I mean, I don't know if she's with a different character or not. We'll see. I just got to see how the movie plays. We just need another trailer for me to really get a gauge. But in terms of the beginning of the movie, from what I've heard, she's getting engaged to a different character. And then obviously in the trailer, we see her dating someone else who obviously gets killed. So maybe after the accident, they called things off. And that's why she's dating someone else. The character I'm talking about is Teddy Spencer, played by Tyreek Withers, who is also going to be in Him, which is coming out later this year with Marlon Wayne. I think in the beginning of the movie, Teddy and Danica are getting engaged, or some type of engagement party. This is just like from things that I've heard. And maybe they break up and then get back together, who knows? But that's just what I've heard. So in terms of Danica, she's giving like Helen Shivers. So, but see, my thing is, I feel like this movie, it can't be like a 1-to-1 of, the original. So I think what they're going to do differently this time is actually have her character survive. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Danica lives, and I'm going to say Ava lives. So there's that. I'm just going to put that out there. If she does die, then that's understandable. But I just, for them to subvert expectations, I'm hoping that she survives. So yeah. Next up, we got Teddy Spencer. Obviously, I just talked about him, played by Tyreek Withers. In the trailer, we see him. He's like in this like bath or sauna, and he might be getting attacked by the killer. So I think he's gonna die. I do think he's gonna die. He might be the Barry of the group, like the asshole of the group. So I do think he's gonna die. Then we have Milo Griffin, played by Jonah King. In the trailer, we see him getting attacked. We see the fisherman like having a rope around his neck and like pulling him back. I don't really think they would spoil his death in the trailer, so I don't think that's his death scene specifically. But I do think he does die. He will die. At some point during the movie, he's gonna die. That's my predictions. Now, there's always gonna be that one Chad character. In the trailer of Scream 5, we see Chad getting attacked, and we're all like, yeah, this dude's dead. But in reality, he ends up surviving. I'm sorry if I'm comparing this a lot to Scream 5, but this, like, I kind of have to, because this is like in the Scream era. This, and also, Urban Legend and The Faculty, which are both apparently getting remakes / reboots. So I'm very excited for those two, considering that Urban Legend, I didn't really like that one, but I really like The Faculty. And I made a review for both of those movies, which I will be posting soon. I made voice memos for them like a while back, so I'll be posting that. But I'm looking forward to, if they're going to bring them both back, I'm looking forward to see, obviously the cast, who's going to be in it. And if it's going to be, in the same vein of Scream 5 in this movie. So, yeah, it feels like all the, Scream era horror movies are making a resurgence, in today's day and age. So I think This is the perfect time for a Urban Legend and the Faculty remake / reboot. That would be fire for sure. But back to I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think Milo's gonna die. I don't really know what his character is gonna be because, you know, in the original there was 4 main characters, and in this one there's 5. So like there's that one extra one. So I'm kind of feeling like Milo might be that one extra one. And then we have Stevie Ward, played by Sarah Pigeon. Now, people were saying that this is like Ray and Julie's daughter, but obviously it's not because she has a different last name. I think she's a tough one. Again, if there's gonna be a trailer dropping this Friday, which, you know, nobody's confirmed it, this is just me assuming, since the marketing has been kind of mid for this movie. I don't know. She's like 50-50 for me. She could either live, she could either die. I'm not sure, but I'm leaning more towards her dying. So yeah, word. That's what I think. And in terms of who I think the killer will be, now let's get into these other 4 characters that we. Oh wait. There's also Gabriette. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. Gabriette. She's playing Tyler. And in the trailer we see her, you know, at the end of the trailer we see her, you know, having a little, like, she says, oh, this place is so beautiful, it makes me want to die, and then we see her get attacked. I think she's gonna die. She's there for the body count. 100% she's dying. So word. That's what I think of Gabriette's character, Tyler. Definitely gonna be for the body count. Now in terms of the other 4 people, let's start off with Billy Campbell. Billy Campbell, we actually see him in the trailer at the town hall meeting. So, and he's like sitting on one of the, like where the, you know, important people sit. So I'm assuming, this is my own speculation, I'm assuming that this Billy Campbell, he might be playing the mayor of Southport, the mayor of the town, or some important figure in the town. And because we see him in the trailer, he's wearing like a suit, he's looking a little suspicious, and yeah, I think he might be the mayor. Then we have Nicholas Alexander Chavez. We haven't seen him at all in the trailer, but we know he's in the movie. We also have Austin Nicholas, who we haven't seen in the trailer, but we know he's in the movie. And then finally we have Lola Tung, who we haven't seen in the trailer, but we know is in the movie. Now, Lola Tung, she was obviously in The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is actually season 3, which is the final season of The Summer I Turned Pretty, comes out July 16th, 2 days before I Know What You Did Last Summer. So this girl has 2 projects dropping within 2 days of each other, which is pretty sick. I think Lola Tung is gonna be the opening kill. I think she's gonna be the opening kill. I don't think she's gonna be the killer. Yeah, I think she's gonna be the opening kill. She obviously, you know, Lola Tung, the star power. I think there's gonna be I'm gonna compare this real quick to Fear Street Prom Queen. Ariana Greenblatt was in Fear Street Prom Queen, and, you know, people were hyping her up. You know, people were excited. Just for her to end up being the first person to die, she had like very minimal screen time in that movie. I think this is gonna be the same case with Lola Tung. Like, she's in the movie, but very little screen time. Same with Samara Weaving in Scream 6. She was in the movie, but she was the first to die. I think it's the same thing with Lola Tung. She's gonna be involved in the car accident, whatever happens, and she's gonna be killed. Now, I think there's gonna be 2 killers. I don't think there's gonna be one. So, literally, based on process of elimination, considering that I think Lola Tung is the opening kill, and we obviously see Billy Campbell in the trailer, so we know he doesn't die in the opening, but he might be involved somewhat with the opening. There's only 2 other people that it could be, which is Austin Nicholas and Alexander Chavez. One of the 2 or both are the killers. Now, I think it rotates between these 3 characters. Billy Campbell as well. I think I'm also putting him on the suspect list. The only one I'm crossing out is Lola Tongue, just because of her star power, and just because I don't think they would have her be the killer. So it literally, based on this, it literally can only be 3 people. Because there's no way one of the main 5 who was involved in the car accident, there's no way any of those 5 are going to be the killers. And there's obviously no way that Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are going to be the killers. And based on the trailer, there's no way that Gabriette's going to be the killer. So it literally has to be 2 out of the 3 of these people, considering that I think that there's going to be 2 killers this go around. So I think either Austin Nicholas or Nicholas Chavez, I think one of them is going to be dating Lola Tongue's character, and one of them is going to be involved in the car accident, and that's going to cause them to want to, obviously kill, everyone else. So yeah, I feel like this is the one time where I literally cannot be wrong. I was right for my Scream 6 predictions for the most part, and I was wrong for Thanksgiving, so we're not even going to talk about that. But in terms of this, it literally has to be 1 or 2 of these 3. There's no way it's not one of these 3. And that's facts. Okay? So that's what I think. Oh, also, if you're wondering what I'm looking at the cast. So yeah, I think the killer is either going to be Austin Nicholas, Nicholas Chavez, or Billy Campbell. It's going to be one of the 3 or 2 of the 3. But it's definitely going to be one of those 3. For sure. And that's my predictions. That is my predictions for the movie. I think soon we're going to be getting a trailer. Also, look at this photo of Ray, bro. Hold on. You see this photo of Ray right here? You telling me this is not Dewey from Scream 5? Come on, bro. He's getting the Dewey treatment. I'm sorry. Also, we have this image of Madeline Klein. She's like screaming and shit. So I'm thinking this might be the aftermath of Teddy's death, Teddy Spencer. I think this is right after Teddy dies. That's what I think. Either Teddy or Gabriette. I think this happens right after one of those 2 dies. So there's that. We also have, what else? I think there's a few other images. There was like an image of them at a bar. And like going towards like Ray's thing. There's like this image of them going up. I think that's like Ray's bar or something. And then we have another image of, the car crash incident here. So yeah, I think one of those 3 are going to be the killer. And I think that Ava, Danica, and Jennifer Love Hewitt is going to survive. And everyone else is going to die. In general, I think Austin Nicholas's character, Nicholas Chavez, Billy Campbell, I think they're all going to die. So I think there's only going to be 3 survivors for this movie. And that's it. So yeah, those are my predictions for I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is a very, until we get more, I don't understand why the marketing hasn't been great for this movie. I don't know if they don't have a lot of faith in the movie. But I have a lot of faith in the movie. I think it's going to be good. I really do. I think this is going to be, the Scream 5 of the franchise for I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I think it's going to deliver. And yeah, if they hit the mark with the kills, the characters, the comedy, since there's going to be some of that in there, and, the killer reveal and the motive, I think this movie has the potential to be really good, considering that there's a lot of other big movies coming out this summer, and this is like the main horror movie of the summer. I think it definitely should have been promoted more. So, but that's just me. But I do genuinely believe that Wednesday or Friday, this Wednesday or this Friday, we're gonna get a new trailer, like an official an official trailer, and hopefully we get to see Lola Tongue, Austin Nicholas, Nicholas Chavez, and Billy Campbell more. And if we do get a trailer this week, I will be making a review for it, or a breakdown for it, and that may or may not change my opinions of this prediction video, but time will tell. We'll see. But that's it, man. I just really wanted to talk about this because I'm very excited. This is like the last big horror movie that there's a lot of horror movies coming out that I'm excited for, but this is like in terms of like really hype, this is like it. So yeah, that's it. These are excuse me. These have been wow, whoa, bro, Jesus. These are my predictions for I Know What You Did Last Summer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I am the Hero Light Legend, Tyree Figueroa, signing out. Peace.